כבוד הרב, I actually have a question that I must ask. I never understood what is compelling about believing in someone like Yeshu, a human being, who died according to them in the most severe way, again, according to them. What drives the people to want so very badly to have this connection to a human being? There is absolutely no quote-unquote verse, pasuk, or sefer written by him or by anyone else on behalf of him that says the words, Vayomer Hashem El.
Isn't it interesting that it's Christians that think that God is Jewish, not us? It's so silly. This bothered me a lot. When I began to study the Christian religion, I had the same question, like, why would this interest you? It's so, if you're acclimated to the Torah, it's completely bizarre. But actually, it is an embarrassment to Christianity that only 1/3 of the world believes in it. Really, if it wasn't filled with so many contradictions, more people would believe it. But really, it has the qualities of Esav, who hunted with his mouth. He was a tzayid b'piv. So Christianity is very attractive because it attaches itself to our worst qualities. Namely, number one, our worst character feature is low self-esteem. It's almost certain that every poor decision we've made in our lives is because our self-esteem is not where it should be. When we look in the mirror, we don't always see something beautiful. Rather, we see something unattractive. We see the ugliness in ourselves. So the Torah says, you create the image of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Return to me and I'll return to you. I love you. I want to be close to you. But Christianity is the ultimate drug. Oh, what a drug they deliver. Christianity says you are a sinner. You are filthy. You are worthless. You are born in sin, in the original sin, Romans 5, verse 12. Paul dedicates whole chapters to this, that you're worthless, that there's nothing you can do to save yourself. So this comports perfectly with that low self-esteem that causes us to do every stupid thing in the world, to dating the worst fellow in the world who was a nightmare. We thought, who else would take me? All the dumb things we do is because of our low self-esteem. So Christianity says, you are low. And there's one fellow, this guy Jesus. You ever look at him on the magazines? He looks terrific. He looks fantastic. If you would try to imagine, what does God look like? Look, Christianity is man's failed effort to create God in his image. So he looks terrific. He's 6'2". He's skinny. He has gorgeous hair, not one split end, eyes to die for. He's a handsome fellow. He's perfect. He's who you will never be. You're a loser, and he's perfect. Moreover, I ask the question, have you ever been betrayed? Of course you have. It's a horrible feeling. He'll never betray you. He's not like any other boyfriend you've had. He'll never betray you. So he's gorgeous, and he willingly died for you. And you could never hope to save yourself. Even though it's against everything in Tanakh, it connects, like Amalek sought out the weakest of the Bnei Yisrael to attack from the back. That's what Christianity is. It says to you that you are lost, you're a sinner, you were born in sin. The original sin is a doctrine of the church. Augustine spent an enormous amount of time on this. He was the most important, revered church father. He came from a Manichaeist background that would only amplify his intrigue in this. So that's one element of Christianity, that it affirms that you're a sinner, that you're filthy, but someone who's perfect, who could save you. You'll never see a short, fat, bald Jesus, ever. No one will see such a thing. The other thing about Jesus so attractive about Christianity is, that's our other flawed feature, is gaiva, arrogance, our desire to be. So Christianity says that once you're saved, that God speaks through you, that you're a Navi, you're a rock star, you're Robert Plant, you're so Christianity is giving you crack and heroin at the same time. And it simply is fueled by our worst features. Conversely, Judaism is God's successful endeavor in creating man in his image. It's just the opposite of Christianity. Christianity is man trying to create God in his image. And Judaism is God's successful endeavor to create man, that we are good. In fact, man is so good that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to create Satan, had to create an evil inclination, so we would have free will. If there was no Satan in the world, we would never want to sin. But there would be no free will, and we would never, virtue would be impossible. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu openly says, I created good, evil. It's an open pasuk in Isaiah 45:7, so that you would have free will. And you can do it. Seek the Lord when he is found, call out to him when he's near. And I ask all of you the question. I'm sure you've been hurt in your life, yes? Imagine for a moment if the person who hurt you turned to you and said, I did a terrible thing. I'm speaking to each and every one of you. You've been hurt in your life, betrayed by somebody. Imagine if someone would say to you, I deeply regret what I did to you. I sinned against you, and I'm so sorry. I renounce what I did. Please forgive me. Wouldn't your relationship with your sister or your ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, totally different? You would have very likely forgiven the person. Now, if you could forgive a person who asked for, how much more so will HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So Christianity is successful not because of any verses, shmerses, all this is sheker v'chosef. It's not about verses. It's all about Jesus. And Jesus loves you, and he died for you, and you can't save yourself, but he, Mr. Perfect, Mr. GQ, he gave his life for you, and he defeated the grave, which people are afraid of. And that's why when if you say, I realize that Christianity is a false religion, and now I'm a Jew, they're always, I'll say 95% of the time will say, but you're going to go to hell. But you're going to go to hell, like that. Because Christianity is also transactional, which means that if people would stop dying and getting old, Christianity would close its doors. It would be out of business in a second. If people would stop dying, no one would ever go to church. But people's fear is that they're going to die and go to hell. So Christianity says, in exchange, if people would stop dying, the Rabbanit or I, or none of us, I wouldn't stop putting on tefillin. It would have no effect at all on the life of my life. I daven HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I bless HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Christianity would be finished because people are terrified of death. So Christianity feeds on all our fears, and that's why you're going to go to hell. What do you mean? But is it true or not? And incidentally, one thing, in Tanakh, there is heaven and hell mentioned very rarely. The resurrection is mentioned very rarely, but never a threat. In the Christian Bible, it's all over the place. Why all false religions threaten you with what happens after you die? In Tanakh, you'll never find it ever. The resurrection is mentioned, heaven, hell is mentioned, very, very, very rare. Very rare is there, but never in the threat. Why not a threat? Because it's unfalsifiable. That's the sign, the red flag of a false religion, because there's no way to test it. What does the Torah say? It's not there are no threats in the Torah. Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 28. There says, look, if you turn away from me, let me explain what's going to happen. It's going to stop raining. It'll stop raining. Your animals won't have anything to eat, and you're going to go hungry. Now, if you're not God, that's a dumb thing to say because you can't control the weather. And if you're not God, you better shut up about that. So the Torah talks about things not that are inaccessible, going to heaven and hell. How do you know? Maybe you go to hell for being a Christian. It's idolatry, right? So it's all the false religions, Hinduism is really all about, what happens after you die, and Islam and Christianity, hell, heaven. Why? Because you can't test it. You can't check it out. That's the reason why Christianity is an incredibly successful religion.
Thank you, Kvod Harav.